welcome back to Fandom Academy Season 3, Episode 11. We have a very, very fun episode today. We've got quite a bit of news to get through, but I'm your host, Layla, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-hosts, CJ and Jaden. How are you guys today?
I'm feeling kind of like I don't know, like I should have known better.
Yeah.
I just wish that if I had a wish, I'd wish I'd never effed around. That's kind of how I'm feeling today.
Valid.
That's valid. I'm pretty good. I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about the stuff that we got going on here today, over the past couple of weeks, or the past week, I should say. But yeah, let's get into it.
And just a general reminder for our audience: thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not cheat. Just keep that in mind when you live your life, please.
That should be your mantra.
Yeah, guys, calm as a bitch, okay? We have, like I said at the beginning, we've got some fun news to get through. We've got more X-Men to talk about. We've got a really fun Star Wars trailer to go through. Bit of news about Sand, which we will get to, and also some music. But to kick us off, we received word about a certain upcoming Marvel series. Jaden, you want to take this one away?
Yeah. So apparently, within the last 24 hours, Daredevil Born Again has reportedly wrapped filming, which is super exciting. That means we are one step closer to getting my boy in red back on my screen, back in my eyeballs, and that's really exciting. Daredevil is one of my favorite characters ever. And so the fact that we're even getting him back, and I know I've said this again and I've preached it on many different episodes, this is going to be an absolutely banger series. We also, within the last couple weeks or so, have been getting a ton. We've been getting a ton of different set pictures and spoiler stuff. Thanks, John Bernthal, for all the stuff that you've been posting.
Thanks, John.
We love you and hate you for it. But at the same time, the set pictures that he was kind of sharing with his Instagram feed was a lot of fun. He looked damn good. He looked so freaking good. It looked so brutal. And so, yeah, Layla, what did you think of the set photos that we got from Johnny?
I mean, there's a lot going on at the minute. You know, you laid it. Florence Pugh posted from the set of Thunderbolts last week. Yeah. We got now all this from John Bernthal. It's like, I think Marvel are kind of letting their guard down to let the hype build up again, because it's no secret that everyone thinks Marvel's been a bit mid recently. Who was it that said it? Finn Wolfhard in that fucking lie detector thing. He was like, yeah, Marvel's been a bit mid at the minute. So I think they're really trying to, because there's no way John Bernthal posted that on Instagram, without asking anyone and, without any permission from even Florence one person at Marvel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Florence. So they're definitely, I think they're just trying new ways to get people more hyped about these projects, and I'm here for it. I love a good set pick, but I also hate them at the same time, because it's I would like to find these things out when I first watch it, but I am a sucker for a spoiler or two. Charlie and John look phenomenal. I love Daredevil so much. It's one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite characters, and Punisher is also a really strong show in my opinion. I love Frank Castle so much. Him and Karen, destroy my life. I love them so much, and if we get more of them together, then I just think my life will be over. But yeah, the set pictures look really good. It looks, like Jaden said, just brutal, and that's all I wanted from this series, so I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, there's with the whole Karen and Frank thing, I shipped them from the very beginning. 100%. And the fact that obviously it looks like, being that they've been on set together and they're taking all these pictures together, I would hope that these two are going to get some screen time together at least, so that, there's some sort of conclusion there that we can either open the door wide open to that relationship or close it officially and move on from it and just rip our hearts out and stomp on it and be done with it. But also, I want to point out that it looked like Charlie Cox was growing out his beard a little bit for the series. I don't know if that is something to look into or not, because there's a specific Daredevil, not really like variant, but like of an older version of Daredevil where he kind of grows out his beard, and that storyline is absolutely sick. Um, Again, I don't know if it's something that we should really be looking into, but just me being on my Daredevil visionary stuff, definitely super excited for it. CJ, what do you think of the set photos that we've gotten?
So first of all, Finn Wolfhard has no right to be calling anything mid after Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. The most mid movie I've ever seen in my life. But I actually haven't seen them. But since we're talking about like set picks and stuff like that, I do want to talk about the Florence Pugh one a little bit.
Yeah.
Her hair looks
so
unreal.
good. In her energy, like she was Yelena in that video. Oh my god, I miss Yelena so much. I didn't realize that until I watched that video. Instantly one of my favorite Marvel characters since Black Widow, and then Hawkeye just made it even worse. I love that woman. And just that whole cast. We didn't really get to see anyone else other than her, but that movie is what I'm anticipating. I'm always here for the anti-hero type story. I love the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's, and the original. I love both of them. So I'm excited to see what this has to bring, and also the stories and just the kind of the rumors we've heard about the movie seem wild. So yeah, I'm very thrilled. And they also showed a little bit of footage, like frozen on a screen of Yelena. Looked really fucking cool. So I'm very excited. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun next couple of years for Marvel.
Very much so. I'm super excited for Daredevil, for Thunderbolts, all that good stuff. But switching gears from the Marvel realm to the music realm, CJ, we got a ton of new music recently. So go ahead and enlighten us.
So we've had a lot of good music come out in the past few weeks. Next year's Grammys is looking rough. Unfortunately for Taylor Swift, Casey Musgraves, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, JoJo Siwa released a song this year. It is over for them. Lies. That song is butt.
Go away.
But I have two main albums I want to talk about. Pretty big ones. Casey Musgraves, who is probably top 3 most prominent voices in female country music. Released an album a couple weeks ago called Deeper Well. I won't get too deep into it, but very good album. Instantly upon first listen, it was one of my favorite albums. It was almost like a more springy folklore, if that makes sense. Like more like a more, not as much woodsy, but like you're running around in a field of daisies in the rain type vibes. Like it's very good. It's about Casey's love for herself and learning to love herself, which is something we can all take messages away from. So I think there's so many songs on there that just hit. And yeah, check that one out. But the biggest drop until 2 weeks from today, a time of recording, was another country music album, and that is Beyonce's Cowboy Carter. Shocked. I love Beyonce. I love everything she's really done. Renaissance wasn't my fave, but I understand it for what it is. This album rules. This album's amazing. Some standouts for me, Bodyguard is just phenomenal. Levi's Jeans with Post Malone is really fun. Most Wanted with Miley Cyrus is unreal. The way those two voices blend together is crazy good. She covers Blackbird by Paul McCartney and the Beatles, which is really good. And there's this random song called Yeah Yeah on it, which I am obsessed with. I love it. It's my low-key maybe my favorite song on the album. But it's really delivered. Layla, Jaden, have either of you two listened to either of these two albums?
I actually haven't. I don't really listen to that much Beyonce. Like, there's been a few songs. Like, I remember all that was on my TikTok page was the Renaissance tour. So I did kind of get attached to
everybody on mute.
Yeah, like that.
You failed. You failed.
I thought you. Whatever. So there was a few like clips from the tour where I started listening to the songs that I kept seeing on my For You page. But yeah, apart from like her old stuff, I'm not really an avid Beyonce listener. But I've seen everybody hype up this album, so I will definitely give it a listen. And yeah, the Grammys next year are just gonna be like a war.
It's
like
literally going to be a war. Like
yeah,
unheard
like
of.
you've got so many huge artists dropping. Like CJ said before, like Tortured Poets is dropping so soon, and I think literally 2 weeks, and I can't wrap my brain around it that we have all of these artists. Like, it was bad enough this year, to be honest. So next, and it's like the Oscars this year, I think it's going to be the same level of war, minus Oppenheimer, because we knew what was going to happen at the Grammys next year. Like, it's going to be so bad.
It's because if you think about everyone who's dropped, Dua Lipa is dropping this year, Grammy winner. Billie Eilish is dropping this year. So many time Grammy winner, album of the year winner already. Casey Musgraves has an album of the year Grammy. Taylor Swift has 4 album of the year Grammys. Beyonce, most Grammys of all time for one artist. It is going to be unreal. And I'm so curious to see who gets noms and stuff. And again, we've talked about this before. It's all the girls. The girls run the music industry right now.
That's real.
And that's very, very exciting. I don't know. I can't think of any guys who I know are dropping soon.
No, I don't.
I honestly can't either. The only guy that I've been listening to is Noah Khan on fucking repeat. Like, I think he might be my top favorite artist like ever at this point, just because I listen to him every single day.
So I don't know if he'll be dropping soon, but then again, Taylor Swift didn't drop not that long ago either. So who knows?
Yeah.
We're in for a lot of surprises in music this year. I'm so excited to see where we end up. I'm also really curious to see I really want Beyonce to get album of the year. Just because she's never won time. She's deserved it for so long. So many of her albums have been robbed. I don't even say robbed because like the winners were also really good albums, and I hate using that word in terms of award shows because still good, but like her albums were also deserving of that award. So I just hope this is the year she actually gets her hands on it, and I also hope that she storms into the CMAs this year and cleans house because maybe we'll get Casey some awards in there too. But if you guys don't know the story, Cowboy Carter the idea of Beyonce doing country music originated from an experience she had a couple years ago at the CMAs where she was performing with the Chicks and just felt she didn't belong. And if you go back and watch the video performance, you can see so many people looking pissed, looking annoyed, so many prominent names in country music that she's performing on that stage. And she kind of took that as like, no, I do belong. I'm Beyonce. I can belong wherever I want to belong. Like country music is not defined to white men playing their guitar, singing about beers, boobs, and farming. So
that was good.
Yeah.
So I'm very glad that we have this album. It does a lot too. It talks about country music's relationship with the African American community and how that relationship is and how country music actually stemmed from that realm and how past African Americans in that world were treated poorly as well. So I'm very glad Beyonce is doing that. She is such an icon. She will always be one to stand up for what she believes in, and I'm so happy of that. And just Jolene, watch your fucking back, bitch.
God damn. Yeah, I'm excited to see the Beyonce sweep next year because I do truly think that it's about time. As happy I would be for Taylor, Beyonce needs an Album of the Year award because it's actually, even if I don't listen to Beyonce that much, I know enough to know that she deserves an Album of the Year award.
Yeah.
Like, it's about time. So yeah, a lot of music.
And those two's names are synonymous with each other and will be forever synonymous with each other, I feel like, because no one's bigger than those two. Right. Their only competition is each other. Because, no one else even comes close. And, if you just look at the tours this past summer, what was everyone talking about in the music industry this summer? The Renaissance and the Eras Tour. That's all it was. And there really is no competition because they continue to prove and try to shut down any fan war that starts every other Tuesday, that they have beef. They don't. They're friends. And honestly, I will be shocked if we walk out of next year's Grammys and they both don't at least walk away with one.
100%. 100%. Yeah, a lot of exciting music coming out this year. So look out for all of it. Like we said, Tortured Poets comes out 2 weeks today of recording. Grab your tissues, grab everything, just cry. But yeah, great year for music. We have some other news to talk about now. Dune Messiah is in early production. We knew this news was coming because Dune 2 has just fucking wiped the floor with everything. It's made so much money. It's all everyone has been talking about for the past month or however long it's been out. I've never seen a movie like go this fucking crazy online. Like all the videos of Stilgar going around, all the videos of Austin Butler kissing Stellan Skarsgård, like this is a cultural phenomenon, if I do say so. It's such a good movie. So the news of a third movie obviously being confirmed so soon after the second one was dropped was kind of expected, but golly was I excited yesterday when this news dropped, because there is so much in store for all of these characters. Paul has such a long way to go in his story of becoming Lisan al-Gaib, or the rest of his journey. There's just so much to go off, so much we need to see from Timmy in this next film. It's making me a bit nervous, but it's fine. We have the whole storyline of him and Florence Pugh's character fucking boning in the back or whatever they get up to. Poor Shawnee's just run off in tears. We don't know what's going to happen with her, but Paul better get her ass back, because what the fuck, Paul?
She's trying to decide which tennis boy she wants to love.
Right.
Yeah. We should also talk about
she's distracted.
She's got enough going on. She has too many pretty men after her, which I would be after her too, honestly.
If you're not in love with Zendaya, leave. Like, I don't know.
Literally, you're lying to yourself, to be honest. But yeah, lots to see from these characters, especially Lady Jessica and her whole story with the Bene Gesserit. So much to go on. Also, Anya Taylor-Joy is coming into this one.
Do we think she'll have a large role in the third one, though?
I don't know. Like, will she still be a baby? Like, is this going to have like the look?
I assume it's just going to pick up right where Dune 2 left off. So
yeah,
she's still going to be a fetus that the mom is talking to.
Yeah. I kind of hope
wild.
That's actually very interesting.
Yeah.
There has to be some
for
kind
like
of time jump.
2-second cameo, and I just don't know if they would do a flash forward again, because in order to get the vision that Paul had in the first place, he had to drink the whatever it was called,
Water
the
of life
worm
or
piss.
whatever.
So
the worm piss. Oh my gosh.
So
Dune is a crazy world.
The Dune lore is wild. Like, it is wild. Like, if you've never seen Dune and you're hearing the shit we're talking about, mothers talking to a fetus, drinking worm piss, like, boning in the back, Austin Butler kissing Stellan Skarsgård, like...
kissing his uncle.
Yeah, by the way. Crazy.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about in the Dune world. What did you guys think of, well, we've talked about Dune 2, but where do you want to see these characters go? Obviously, there's books. They're going to follow the books. I'm not that deep into the books. I don't know if you guys are. So what would your like ideal quick storyline be for the next film, Jaden?
I don't know, because like I have not watched the original Dune movie as CJ did, and I don't plan on it.
Down.
Yeah, and I don't plan on it. And I also have not read the books. But honestly, I'm just excited for Timmy. Man, that man is like, I know that he's Timmy, and there's a lot, and I know CJ is not the biggest fan, but he is really like, he fucking works. He puts in the work, and I'm really excited that he's kind of got this going for him. And I'm just super excited to see him back. Honestly, I don't even know. Sometimes I get confused with the actual storyline, even with the first two movies. So I couldn't even imagine where the third movie would go.
So I'm not gonna talk too much on it because I do know the book lore, and I don't want to spoil anything. But I'll just say this: I am very, very excited to be able to openly hate on Timothy Chalamet and Paul Atreides these next few movies. I'm very, very excited.
Oh boy.
Oh, Paul.
Oh boy. Right after I praised him.
Like Jaden said, like it or not, Timothy is a movie star right now. Like, he is up there with one of the biggest names right now. And maybe fortunately, maybe unfortunately, we don't know.
Definitely fortunately.
Like, he just signed like a huge fucking contract with Warner Brothers or something to work with them for like another however long. So good for you, Timmy. Get your paycheck. I will not be cheering you on, but a lot of people will be. Moving on, we got Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
You say Glenn Powell? Yeah.
Yep, just Glenn Powell.
His name up there.
That's all I had to say.
Okay, cool. Moving on. We got more Star Wars content this week. May the 4th is upon us, and on that day, we got news that a new set of shorts will be releasing on Disney Plus called Tales of the Empire. We got Tales of the Jedi. It feels like not that long ago, to be honest. And that was a phenomenal set of shorts. If you have not seen Tales of the Jedi, please go and watch it. It is just incredible. You get to find out so much more about these characters. It's just incredible. So yeah, we got a trailer for Tales of the Empire with yesterday, day of recording, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. CJ, why don't you take this one away?
Yeah, this show's gonna be crazy. This is gonna be a really, really fun time. It looks like we're diving, whereas Tales of the Jedi kind of dove into like 4 or 5 different stories. This one is really diving into 2, it appears. And those 2 center around Morgan Elsbeth, who you might know from The Mandalorian and Ahsoka, and Barriss Offee from the Clone Wars. And one of those is so much more exciting than the other. But let's talk about Morgan Elsbeth first. It looks like we're getting just her kind of upbringing, her, I guess, origin story. To where we found her in The Mandalorian. We even saw the village or the town or whatever it was in The Mandalorian. We see scenes in there, so we'll probably figure out how she got that under control, and how she got the spear. It looks like she comes into contact with some pretty prominent names. You saw General Grievous in the trailer, which was crazy. Definitely tempting with the dark side, and it looks like we're going to find out why she became so angry and all that. So that'll be really, really fun. What do you guys think about seeing Morgan Elsbeth and Tales of the Empire?
I think it's going to be pretty exciting. She's not like one of my favorite characters in, the Star Wars universe. But just like with Tales of a Jedi, I just really enjoy getting that extra little bit of context to who these characters are and why they are who they are now. I feel like with like Ahsoka and with Count Dooku, that was like some extremely powerful like beginnings. And so the fact that we're able to kind of get, even if it's just a snippet into that little aspect of their life, it's so cool. So cool. And I'm really excited to see what they do with Tales of the Empire.
Yeah, I'm really here for it. Like I said, I love Tales of the Jedi, and Tales of the Empire in the trailer, like we're seeing Thrawn again. We got the Grand Inquisitor in this trailer. We got Darth Vader in this trailer. When Darth Vader's rocking around, breathing heavily, it's going to be a good time. So I'm here for all of it. Obviously, we know so much about, oh my god, I've forgotten her name, from the Clone Wars already. Barriss. I've forgotten her name. Barriss from the Clone Wars. That story is going to be incredible. I love an origin story. Like, Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorite movies because it's kind of following Anakin about why he joins the dark side. Stuff like that is just so fucking good, and just like understanding these characters and sympathizing with them because they joined the dark side, and just finding out why and what led them to it is just such great storytelling, and the way they're doing it in shorts, it's just going to be like incredible.
And the Barriss one's going to be wild because at least as far as I know, we have not seen anything from Barriss Offee since the trial, when Ahsoka left the Order.
No.
And that is easily one of the best arcs. I would say the best arc in the Clone Wars other than season 7. So that's gonna rule. That's gonna kick so much ass. And especially because when we find her, she's being approached by an Inquisitor. And this is different than Morgan Elsbeth because we know how Morgan Elsbeth's story ends. We have no idea what the hell happens to Barriss Offee. So I am so excited to see whether she becomes an Inquisitor, which it looks like she's going to. And kind of, honestly, I'm so excited to see Vader's reaction to seeing her because throughout the times we've seen Vader and Ahsoka interact, you can tell there's still something there. Even like he has a soft spot for her. Even once he's turned into Vader. So someone who did Ahsoka so dirty in Barriss, and Vader knows it, and he was right there. Oh my god, I'm so excited to see what his reaction is, because it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, this is gonna be an unreal story to follow. Like I said, it's out on May 4th on Disney Plus. I'm sure we'll be talking about it as soon as it drops.
Also, on May 4th, Revenge of the Sith is going to be in theaters. So is Phantom Menace.
I'm seeing Phantom Menace.
I think Revenge of the Sith might only be if you see the entire marathon. But like dead ass, I'm gonna buy a ticket for the marathon, do my little math, show up for Revenge of the Sith, and leave. Because that is the one movie I have never seen in theaters that I want to see in theaters more than anything else. Being able to experience that movie in theaters would be so crazy. I think I was literally 1 year old when the movie was in theaters, so unfortunately I was not able to go. But yeah, that American Psycho and La La Land are ones I need to see in theaters before I die. And I feel like they'll all happen eventually. So
yeah, it's gonna be such a good time. I think the only one showing near me is Phantom Menace, so I'll be seated, I guess, on May the 4th. But yeah, that's it for Star Wars right now. But we did get some casting news the other day, time of recording. More Fantastic Four casting news, should I say. Julia Garner has been cast as the female Silver Surfer. Now, I do not know anything about this character. I think, is it Shala Ball or something? This
something like that. I don't know if that's exactly it, but
it's like Shala Ball. Shala Ball.
Yeah. I do not know anything about this character, if I'm being honest. So this casting, whilst it was exciting, it was also just more intriguing to see what they do with this character in this film. Because obviously we don't really know we don't really know what the Fantastic Four movie is going to focus on. We know kind of when it's set and who's there, but we don't know the plot of this movie at all. So literally anything could get thrown into this cast, all these characters, and we'd still just have no clue. So yeah, I'm unfamiliar with this character, but so many people were so excited about this casting. Do you guys have any opinions on this? Do you know any of Julia Garner's work? What did you think to this news?
So I've never seen anything with Julia Garner, and I don't think. I mean, I've heard of some things. I know she's in Ozark, and I think that's pretty much where she gets a lot of her fame from what I understand. But I'm super excited that we're doing a female Silver Surfer. I feel like we've talked about this in the pod before and how we kind of wanted it to spice things up, and I think it's pretty cool. I don't know anything much about the comic character that is the female Silver Surfer, but Julia Garner will look great. I've heard her name before. It's like I have no idea who she is. She's gonna rule. I'm so excited for this movie. It's gonna be so much fun, and the fact that we're getting Silver Surfer means Galactus probably ain't that far behind. So I'm curious to see who gets that role, because that one will be interesting. Who are you gonna cast to be that ominous? And why should it be Lin-Manuel Miranda?
No.
That would be a major jump scare.
Can you imagine Lin-Manuel Miranda literally standing over the earth?
Wait, but now I kind of want it. Like, right? I really want that to happen.
Imagine the meme potential, bro. Be crazy.
Oh my god!
Unfortunately, whoever they cast in that role, just because the character of Galactus, I'm gonna giggle. I'm gonna giggle. I'm gonna giggle. I have no idea. I don't even know who to start fan casting that one.
I saw one and I really want it. I think we actually talked about it before. It was Javier Bardem.
Oh yeah,
I have seen that one before.
He would eat that shit up. But in terms of Julia Garner, I actually have seen Ozark, and I know she's in Inventing Anna as well.
Yeah,
and she's a force to be reckoned with. I will say that for sure. She was probably one of my favorite characters in Ozark, aside from Jason Bateman's character. But yeah, she's a force. I feel like this is just like a step down from having that Anya Taylor-Joy as Silver Surfer.
I know that was the goal.
Literally like it's so like
that's the one we talked about on this pod.
Yeah,
like, wasn't it? Yeah.
I feel like she's gonna eat this shit up for sure.
Yeah, I think my fan cast for Galactus is actually Jojo Siwa.
Hey, you don't want that. You don't want that. Karma's a bitch. You should have known better. If you had a wish, you're gonna wish that you never fucked around, Layla.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm already wishing that right now. Another thing to do with Fantastic Four that I really wanted to mention very quickly because it actually had me raging, like full on. I wanted to throw something at a wall. Nicholas Galtazine was in talks to play Johnny Storm before Joseph Quinn got cast.
Was he not on my card? Was he not on my little card I had? Was he not? Was he not? Remember that little card when I was pissed about Johnny Storm? Yeah, he was.
Like this news actually physically pained me to read because what the fuck?
And I'm sorry, the more and more I think of Joseph Quinn, it hasn't aged good. It's aged bad.
No.
And it was already bad. I'm like, Loki is killing my excitement for the movie, which sucks because I love everyone else. But I do not love him as Johnny at all.
No.
I'm such
when the news first dropped that Joseph Quinn was gonna be Human Torch, I initially was pretty excited, but I think kind of like you said, the more I think about it and the more I try to visualize this man actually being Johnny Storm and then looking back at like Chris Evans, Johnny Storm, and just like how perfect
even Michael B. Jordan's Johnny Storm.
Right.
I'm not saying a lot.
I cannot I'm starting to have a hard time visualizing not just the appearance, but the actual like personality that is Johnny Storm. I can't.
You have to have such a douchebaggy energy that I don't think he has.
Yeah.
Look at Eddie Munson. No, absolutely not.
Right.
He can't.
Chrissy, wake up.
No.
We should do a mashup of Chrissy, wake up, and JoJo Siwa's Calm Karma.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna move this conversation along before I have a panic attack. So we're gonna carry on talking about X-Men 97. We talked about it a lot last week, where we recorded our episode with Liam Crowley. If you haven't checked that out already, we also did some WrestleMania predictions. So go and listen to that.
Tomorrow, let's go.
It was
we'll see you next week with review and reactions. Jaden said he's gonna watch, so we'll have some fun. We'll have some fun talking about our new World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre, and our new WWE Universal World Champion, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Tune in next week. Tune in next week for our WrestleMania reactions.
Maybe Layla will be talking about Jake Paul and KSI. Who knows?
Maybe. You never know what's going to happen. It happened last year. Bring KSI back, please. Anyway, back on topic. X-Men 97. Like I said, we talked about it already, but we now have 4 episodes. So episode 4 dropped this week, time of recording. Jaden, again, I'm going to hand this one to you.
Yeah. If you guys did not tune into last week's episode, I have a little bit of PTSD talking about X-Men on this podcast right now because last time I did, I got a crazy Charlie horse. And one of the worst pains that I felt in my leg ever. And yeah, so if you want to see me absolutely in pain and agony, check that out because I did not delete it.
Hey, Jaden, do you know who did that?
Who?
Karma.
No.
Should have known better.
Why did I let you say anything? So X-Men 97 episode 4 came out this a couple days ago, and I will say it is my least favorite episode so far in the series, and I believe we're halfway. I don't know if there's 8 episodes or 10 or however many.
I'm not sure actually.
But I'm gonna go ahead and take a guess and say that it is halfway through the series. The first 3 episodes came out the gate running, and this one fell a little short for me. This was the episode where Jubilee and Sunspot got trapped in a 16-bit video game universe by Mojo, who is disturbingly unsettling and disgusting, and his voice was incredibly annoying.
While we're talking about Mojo,
yeah,
he is so much fun in the original series. Like, his arc is actually pretty good in the original series. His voice here is just atrocious, and the arc is bad. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Makes Lojo look stupid. Did not love it at all.
Yeah, and like I enjoyed the premise of the episode being that they were kind of thrown into this 16-bit universe, or video game, whatever it was. I thought that was pretty cool. But some of the stuff that Mojo was talking about kind of just confused me a little bit and threw me off. But while we're just talking about that, Layla, what did you think of this bit of the episode?
What does that say? The Mandalorian and Grogu were fled fields on May
22nd, 2026.
2026?
Wow, golly.
Yeah.
I will be alive in 2026.
Toy Story 5 hits theaters on June 19th, 2026.
That's so far away.
Toy
That's
Story 5 is
away.
wild.
That is so far away.
Oh my god. That's actually ruined my day. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, X-Men. I don't really have that much to say, to be honest. Episodes 1 and 2 I really liked. Episode 3 hurt my brain, and I'm just lost at episode 4, to be honest. I really love all the characters, but I just don't know what's going on half the time. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah, that's all I really have to say.
That's valid.
I agree with you with that. All the characters are like still the characters from the original series, and they're having a lot of fun, and it's working in terms of like the character, but there is no narrative. The narrative is bad right now. Magneto is supposed to be, I feel like, one of the biggest parts of the story of this season. It kind of just feels like he's there. Like, he's not really doing anything. And then they did the thing with Rogue and Magneto, and there's been just glares as follow-up. Like, there's been nothing else. And it just feels like it's lacking a general sense of purpose, if that makes sense. And it's still like enjoyable because the X-Men, those are my favorite people in the Marvel universe. These are some of my favorite characters, and it's annoying. I just wish it could be so much better if there was like a through line. I mean, there's a little bit of one with what they're doing with Storm, but like these past 2 episodes have just not been for me, have felt out of the blue, and haven't just clicked the way the first 2 did.
Yeah, and just at that point, I feel like, kind of like you said, like when we kind of look at the original series, we know exactly the story that they're trying to tell. And I feel like halfway through the series by now, you should have some sort of idea as to what they're trying to do, where they're trying to go. I feel like the first 2 episodes, it felt like there was a story being told. It felt like there was a plot, and I felt like they were kind of weaving it in perfectly. But then you get into episode 3, that was an absolute reality busting episode. And then this episode, which kind of almost seemed like a filler episode. The only thing that I will say is it looks like Jubilee's kind of getting, I don't want to say like an upgrade in her power set, but she seems to kind of be unlocking her potential with her power set, because it's things that she didn't really know that she was capable of doing. And it seemed like before the episode, she didn't really care to look into it too much. She just kind of wanted to be 18 and wanted to, live her life kind of, and be free of the burden of being an X-Men. But yeah, I think that that's probably the biggest progression that we got in this episode, besides what we got with Storm and Forge, which I'll get to in a second. But CJ, I'll pass it to you. Do we ship Jubilee and Sunspot?
Yeah, why not? I love it.
Because
Go for it.
We absolutely do, and I just wanted to get your take on that because
Sunspot's actually such a fun character. He's very prominent in the Time Runs Out leading up to Secret Wars and the New Avengers run.
Mm-hmm.
So such a cool character. His power set is badass. He's just a G. I'm so excited he's on my screen. I had no idea he was coming in the series. In the first episode, when we saw we got Sunspot, I was very hyped.
I'm so sad that we haven't seen his powers in this series yet. I feel like if we were gonna have the opportunity to see his powers, it would have been in episode 4, and I feel like that would have made the episode so much better.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're building to it. It'll happen eventually, probably this season even, but probably in like a finale because Marvel loves to wait to do things until the last episode, and then it's too jam packed and then rough. I think there's been 2 finales that have been not like that, and I would say both of them were probably Loki. So we'll see.
Yeah. But moving on to another potential relationship in this episode, Storm and Forge. They seemed to kind of be hitting it off in the beginning there. He made her some food. They were vibing, poured her some drink. They were having a good time, and he was kind of giving her the impression that, with his abilities, he was able to kind of help her regain her powers. Unfortunately, what she didn't know was that I don't remember the timeline exactly, but at some point in time, he had helped the government make the collars that inhibited their powers. And so I think what his thought process was, if I can kind of reverse what this collar does and kind of reinstate that in Storm, we can kind of reverse what happened with her genes and get her powers back. Obviously, this didn't work. She figured out that this was one big, kind of lie, and he was just kind of trying to right a wrong, essentially. But then he drops the love bomb. I don't know where that came from. I feel like they just met each other. That seemed super interesting to me. CJ, what did you think of that?
What happened to the 3-month rule, y'all? What happened?
He has a 3-day rule or 3-hour rule.
Like the 3-month rule apparently doesn't exist to the X-Men. So they're in love, I guess, or he's in love. Right. It's gonna happen. I don't know. The X-Men are so horny right now, all of them, except Gambit, who's heartbroken.
Real.
So I don't get to be happy because he's not happy. So I suffer.
Maybe Rogue will come around.
We don't want her back.
She blew it. She blew her chance.
That's real. And then at the end of the episode, the twist or the cliffhanger, if you will, we meet a character called the Adversary, I believe. I am not familiar with who that is. CJ, do you know who the Adversary is? Have you read about the Adversary in the comics at all?
It sounds familiar. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures. I haven't seen much from him. No.
Yeah. I want to say it looked like the owl that she had pointed out earlier in the episode, but just bigger and scarier and more beast-like. I don't know exactly what's happening here. I couldn't even begin to speculate, being that I don't even know who the Adversary is. But she's in some shit. Her and Forge are in some shit. And I guess I'm excited to see how that unfolds. This was a part 1 episode, so I'm assuming the next one's going to be a part 2 of some sort. But yeah, overall, it was an okay episode. About halfway through the series now, so hopefully things start to, dots start to connect a little more with these next few episodes, and hopefully we get to see Sunspot use his powers at some point soon. Not in the finale.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's all we have for X-Men, we can go ahead and close out the episode.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the future of X-Men 97 because I do think with a bunch of characters like this, you can do some really fun things. One of my favorite parts about episode 1 and 2 is while there were little quests going on, it was really just getting to know, like, obviously most people already know who the characters are, but for me it was just getting to grips with them and seeing how they act around each other. And I know that it's a Marvel show, so there's going to be shit going on, but I just want more of that, you know, like the domestic side of characters, and I hope that we see more of that in the future of the series. Otherwise, it's going to lose me completely, and I will be very sad about it. Yeah. But yeah, that will wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. We had quite a bit to talk about, kind of gone all over the place, but thanks for sticking with us. Make sure you're following us at Fandom Academy on all of our socials and hit the notification bell on YouTube so you will get notified for new episodes, and Spotify too. We're going to have some fun TikTok content, I'm sure, going up, some reels maybe. We're getting back into it. We'll be here eventually. And make sure you follow all of the podcasts under the Agents of Fandom network, including Agents of Fandom, Listen 3000, Comic Corner, The Critics, and obviously us here at Fandom Academy. So thank you so much for listening. CJ and Jaden, where can the people find you?
You can find me pretty much anywhere at CJDart_. I promise I'm not crying. My allergies just decided to act up in the past 5 minutes, and I'm not sure why. But I have a pretty exciting event next Thursday as Jason and Travis Kelsey are headed to Clifton, my university, to do a live recording of their podcast with special guest Joe Burrow, which if you know me, you know that's a big fucking deal. And they said there's still more special guests. And with it being a week before Tortured Poets, I'm going to choose to be delusional. So if I meet Taylor Swift, look at those pages because there'll be pictures.
Yeah, you can find me pretty much all socials at jaden.cmduran. You can check out my bartending page at duran.drinks on Instagram and TikTok. Also, a little update for our YouTube. We are going to be on our own channel now. It's more like a sub channel under the Agents of Fandom like hub. But yeah, we're gonna have our own channel, and hopefully we can, maybe even branch out a little bit with our content. Start getting some clips on there as well, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, so just keep an eye out that.
And you can find me anywhere at FalconsNat. Make sure to stream a new song that came out. It's called Karma by Jojo Siwa.
Oh wait, I haven't heard that one. Is it good?
It's really good. You should also go and watch the music video because it's just so much fun.
Fun. A big ball of fun.
Big ball of family-friendly fun. And yeah, we will see you next week for another episode of Fandom Academy. Goodbye.
Latest gayers.